So, I'm back and we're here to talk about the Celtics, as there has been some stories regarding Malcolm Brogdon and his role and relationship with the Celtics and Jason Tatum, so I found this really interesting and I wanted to talk about it, as Malcolm Brogdon appeared in of course, trade rumors when Kristaps Porzingis and the trades around that started going on, right? He was the first official trade that didn't go through. And then, of course, the Celtics traded Marcus Smart instead of him. And we now have, of course, the NBA Sixth Man of the Year, reigning Sixth Man of the Year. Not thrilled to hear his name through trade rumors, but of course, it's kind of hard to know because, as the insider Chris Forsberg, Celtics insider, said, shout out to him, everyone's waiting for media day to arrive, for Malcolm to get his turn at the podium, to maybe speak his mind a little bit. And that he's, really private, does a bunch of community stuff, works out fairly quietly, doesn't use social media yet. We're left to wonder a bit. And they need him to be good, which is obviously obvious. The report has also been that Malcolm Brogdon is not happy with how they handled his injured elbow. And who knows, man. We've heard a lot of sides of the story, right? Ramona Shelburne said that she doesn't think the bad feelings are over including him in any trade discussions, which I found rather weird because I would say it should be from those, right? But, of course, it's a little uncomfortable, and he had that golfer's elbow during the playoffs, and yeah, it's supposed to be a little questionable, and who knows, right? That is a question of when he might be available, how he's available. That's kind of crazy, right? What if he isn't able to play? So, yeah, he's under contract for the next 2 seasons, and of course you have Derek White, and the bench was really sensational. He was sensational last year, winning the Sixth Man of the Year. They also said that they are not considering the Malcolm Brogdon trade here, as you can see. And the reason why I really wanted to talk about it is because Jason Tatum is preparing for a point guard role this season, which I don't know how I feel about it. I think he does have a little point forward in him, and especially in last year's finals against the Warriors. It's considered last year's, right? I feel like he really showcased some of that LeBron-esque. He, of course, doesn't have the vision, the passing that LeBron does, but he does have the similar, willingness, I would say, to make those plays, to be that playmaker. And maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's not a good idea. I think the Celtics, of course, need him to be a leader, more of a leader with Marcus Smart in Memphis now. But, if he's also going to take on a point guard role, why not? The main thing for Jason Tatum, for sure, is to be a better leader, to be more vocal, to be more of a, to just get the guys going, just like Marcus Smart did, because I think they need that, and they need him to become that. Not Marcus Smart, of course, but they need him to be a little more assertive from that front, and I think that's what they need overall, right? And it's great because, because he's your best player, he's gonna be there probably forever, right? And he is a really good playmaker, and just like I said, in the playoffs, in the finals against the Warriors, I think his best role was that kind of pass third LeBron-esque, point forward, even though, of course, LeBron is just that much of a better driver and scorer of the basketball, in my opinion, right? Probably in everyone's opinion. But I still think it's going to be really interesting. Malcolm Brogdon, Peyton Pritchard, right? Derek White are the other options. Some Jaylen Brown. Who knows? As they say here, perhaps having Tatum initiate the offense more helps maximize having him and Jaylen Brown on the floor, which could be true. Could also not be true, but I am happy that they are willing to try this, and I think it could benefit them, and if it does not, then they can just revert back into it. They will be lacking not a true point guard, but there's no such thing anymore, I would say. Of course, there are those prototypes, but the game of basketball is so positionless now that it doesn't really matter, in my opinion at least. And they still have Derek White, who is great, Malcolm Brogdon, as long as he, of course, is healthy and happy enough, which we'll have to wait and see in media day, I suppose. And Peyton Pritchard. I don't know, maybe they'll sign some better and point guard still. Nonetheless, I found it really interesting. I'm excited to see how Jason Tatum plays, and especially if he's gonna be running more point. What do you think? Do you think it's a good idea for Jason Tatum to run more of a point guard role and to be more of a playmaker and initiator of the offense, even more than he was with Marcus Smart in there? Let me know in the comment section. I think it's a pretty solid idea. The most important thing, like I said, him becoming a bigger, more assertive leader, and the Celtics should be in good hands overall. Either way, I would say. We'll see. Maybe they'll crumble without Marcus Smart emotionally, but I don't see it happening. Even though I was a little skeptical when the trade happened, now with 2 months maybe even removed from it, I feel like the Celtics will be just fine, man. Anyways, be kind to yourselves and to others, and I'll catch you all in other videos.